Hello and welcome to your weekly look at what's going on in the race for the White House. With less than 4 weeks left until election night, here's what you need to know. We start with the picture of the week. Donald Trump standing at the White House balcony, peeling off his mask and saluting Marine One, the presidential helicopter that had just flown him back from the Walter Reed Medical Center. This was a well-produced photo op meant to display strength and to show that the president was back in business after testing positive for COVID-19. Donald Trump went even further, telling Americans not to be afraid of COVID, despite the virus forcing him to be hospitalized, and his own doctor saying that he wasn't entirely out of the woods just yet. This as the United States passed 210,000 deaths from the virus. The building Donald Trump returned to has become a major COVID-19 cluster, one that seems to have originated at a ceremony in the Rose Garden for the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court on September 26th. At least 9 people who attended that ceremony have since tested positive, including the president and the first lady, as well as 3 Republican senators. The spread continued within the White House this week, with top advisor Stephen Miller, press secretary Kelly McEnany, and several of her deputies all testing positive. The president, however, refused to isolate in the residence. Instead, Donald Trump decided to return to the Oval Office on Wednesday, despite still being contagious, drawing criticism for potentially endangering more White House staffers. There were plexiglass barriers, a fly, and a whole lot of interruptions. But overall, the vice presidential debate was everything the first presidential debate was not. A polite discussion between 2 polished and well-prepared candidates. Both Mike Pence and Kamala Harris mostly dodged the moderator's questions, instead making their point and spinning their facts, a sort of throwback to what political debates used to be. Many expected Kamala Harris, a former prosecutor, to dominate Mike Pence, and while the vice president did struggle to defend the Trump administration's handling of the coronavirus crisis, he mostly held his own on most of the other topics. It is unclear, though, whether that will hurt or help Donald Trump, who is still trailing far behind his rival Joe Biden in national polls. The second presidential debate, a town hall scheduled for October 15th, was supposed to be the highlight of the coming week. Instead, there might not be a presidential debate at all, following a fierce battle over its format. The Commission for Presidential Debates had initially decided to switch it to a virtual debate because of the president's illness. Donald Trump dismissed that idea outright, saying, "I won't waste my time on a virtual debate." The Biden campaign arguing that the president should not be able to, quote, evade accountability, pushed to postpone that town hall to October 22nd in order to hold it in person. The Trump campaign seemed to have agreed to that move, but added that they wanted the third presidential debate to be held on October 29th, just days before the November 3rd election, a proposal rejected by the Biden campaign, throwing the future of these presidential debates in limbo. That's all for now, but tune in next week for a new edition of Running for the White House.